Hi everybody, it's Joaquin from Carrollwood Estates. We're gonna take a look at Brentwood and how it performed this May. I'm also gonna discuss the buyer when we know that, and more so in my newsletter. First up, we have 684 Firth Ave. This one sold for $31 million. So this home, it's a monumental rectangular frame of Roman travertine and nearly 19 feet of disappearing glass. It's set on a private Brentwood promontory directly beneath the Getty Center and clad in the museum's own stone. So Thomas Jewel Hansen, an alumnus of Richard Meyer's office, he composed, this house was called Sempre Vista, and it's an answer to his mentor's masterwork on the ridge above. So it's part residence, part pavilion, with views that are from the coast to the canyon, from the ocean to the skyline, with no interruptions. Jewel Hansen himself worked directly on the design of the new Getty Center, which opened in Brentwood in 1997. 27 years later, for the property he designed on Firth Ave and is boldly calling the Getty House, he sourced the same travertine from the same quarry in Italy that supplied the stone for the Getty. The stone came from the Lipiello family quarry in Bagno de Tivoli, about 20 kilometers east of Rome. Even better, Signore Lipiello, he agreed to resume cutting from the exact spot in the mountain where they'd finished cutting for the Getty. It looks like the buyer, they're a large family from Oregon. The family is one of the top 10 private real estate owners on the West Coast, and they rank among the top 200 art collectors in the world, and they support the Getty philanthropically. Very fitting buyer for this house. Next, we have 260 Homewood Rd. This one sold for $18 million. It's a modern traditional with Georgian influences, white painted brick, black steel, classical proportions. It was completed this year by architect Philip Vertoke, who has actually already designed other homes on this exact block. He's done a lot of homes on the west side as well, of course. He's a great architect. The interiors, they're done by Magni Coleman. The AD Architectural Digest Top 100 Modernists. The New York Times once described them as trim, tailored, and as practical as a Jill Saunders suit. The result is this rare Brentwood house. It kind of refuses the choice between traditional and contemporary, classical bones, but it has a modernist temperament and this grandeur that's kind of balanced with livability across 9,500 square feet, a guest house, and resort grade grounds, all behind gates. My favorite moment in the house is the entry. We have this double height foyer. It rises to a steel framed skylight, massive skylight. To our left, we have a wall of rift oak paneling with the staircase coming up, and the stairs have this beautiful black steel balusters and this huge clear story window above on the window on the wall to the left. There's herringbone white oak running underfoot, and your line of sight continues straight through a glass door to the backyard and the gardens beyond. It's a striking sense of arrival, classical in proportion, and entirely modern in its parts. It kind of sets the tone for the artisanal millwork throughout the house. This was an amazing sale. The biggest sales on Homewood include a $17.35 million sale in 2021 on a 24,000 square foot lot, and another at $17.15 million in 2018 on a 28,000 square foot lot. The best comparable for this property is probably the $16 million sale in 2021 for an 11,000 square foot house, bigger, but on a 19K lot. So the market has moved up significantly here, in my opinion. Moving on, 361 North Bowling Green Way. We just sold this property. I love the white clapboard, black shutters, roses climbing the gate of this corner lot just north of Sunset. It was built in 2015. It's gated. It's behind manicured hedges. It's this custom East Coast traditional of about 4,500 square feet. So the hallmarks, they're all present and very disciplined. We have horizontal white lap siding, and it wraps both stories under a charcoal composition shingle roof. The upper windows carry black shutters. An oval oculus window with these decorative muntins mark the front gable, and a small white rail Juliet balcony breaks up the facade. Inside, millwork is the primary ornament. Formal rooms at the front, family life at the back, and a lush backyard and garden beyond. We have full height wainscoting and panel molding that run the entire circulation of the house. The functional program, it reads like a family checklist. Five bedrooms, a main floor guest suite with its own bath, 5 baths total, 3 fireplaces, a temperature controlled wine cellar, and a beverage bar in the primary, upper level laundry, that's nice, outdoor kitchen, a pool, a spa, gated corner lot, true front porch. At 4,500 square feet, it's great livable size, large enough for a family of 5 and weekend hosting, but it's still comfortable and easy to manage. Moving on, we have 1784 Old Ranch Road. This one sold for $6.15 million. This is an original Cliff May, built in 1953 on the very street where the father of the California ranch was building his own final 2 houses. In this equestrian canyon, he helped turn into the ranch genre's home address. I love the board and batten exterior, the terracotta floors, and the courtyard that's canopied by mature sycamores and oaks. They did a good job updating a home while keeping the integrity and the rustic origins of a California ranch intact. The lot is really about 8,000 to 9,000 square feet of flat land. It does sit above the street. It's at the end of a private driveway and it's surrounded by canyon landscaping. This was a good price for the home. We've seen similar sized homes and lots selling around this level north of Montana on the 7,500 square foot lots, really more so the 8,900 square foot lots. Next, we're going to take a look at 154 South Anita Ave. This one just sold for $5.295 million. So the first thing I noticed is the sycamore out front, which is about 100 years old. It's older than the house, very cool. Also, so we have this 1938 Brentwood traditional. It's on Anita and Brentwood Flats, and it's one of only 3 streets in the neighborhood, along with Medio and Carmelina, that maintain their own dedicated guard around the clock and have every utility line underground. So behind that canopy sits a pre-war home that's been recently renovated and finished all the way down to the furniture. The period bones are still there. We have this nice sunken living room, leaded glass, and a mahogany front door. But the house now has a completely current family program. This one sold twice. It sold in February 2025 for $5 million, and then just resold for $5.295 million. Not bad at all. So that was a very short time frame. They got a lot of extra money. So that was a little lucky in my opinion. I love that. But it also shows the demand for great product like this in Brentwood. The sellers, they came from the Palisades. They bought this house and then they bought another in the Riviera and they sold this one. That's a lot of moving parts, and I'm happy they're able to make it back to the Palisades. So next on our list, we have 244 Oceano Drive. This one sold for $5.295 million as well. This one is 1,600 square feet on a big 12,612 square foot lot. We're in Brentwood Flats for this property. It sold off market for $3.85 million in September 2025, and it just sold again for $5.295 million. So the seller is the developer, and I assume he originally bought the property to build a new house on it. The existing home is smaller at about 1,600 square feet, and there is some deferred maintenance. So I have to believe it's sold again with the next buyer intending to build on the property as well. This is an interesting sale, and in my opinion, it's a very expensive price for the land, although it's very rare to get this big of a lot. We had 2 traditional homes in the neighborhood that were in great condition, both on roughly 10,000 square foot lots. They were between 2,700 square feet and 3,000 square feet, and they sold for $4.15 and $4.35 million. Those were 11948 South Saltair Ter and 585 Lorna Lane. So for a 1,600 square foot home on a 12.6 thousand square foot lot to sell for almost $5.3 million, that seemed a little bit rich. But then you also have 330 South Medio Drive, a 3,465 square foot Spanish on a 10.7 thousand square foot lot. That one sold for $7.1 million or $2,077 per square foot. So there's serious range in pricing, of course, and it depends on the architecture, the condition, and the overall quality of the home. Next, we have 880 Teakwood Rd. This one sold for $4.86 million. For 3 decades, this was somebody's quiet ranch above Sunset in the hills. It was held for so long that when it finally came to market in late 2024 and sold, when it was offered, in the words of the listing, they called it a blank canvas. So what came back to market is the full realization of that canvas. We have a post-war Kenter Canyon ranch taken down to the studs, rebuilt as a study in organic modern design with contemporary Mediterranean influences, where bone white plaster, arched stone showers, and honey white frame canyon and skyline views from a single level. It is luxury, and the registered designer is now called quiet. Nothing shouts, but it holds up to a second look. The property, it was purchased for $2.8 million in October 2024. 1 year and 5 months later, it had been completely remodeled and sold for a significant profit. Using a very conservative remodel budget, this is a big budget is what I'm saying, for $689,000 or $250 per square foot, assuming 35% equity into the total project cost with debt at 11% interest, I have them making at least $750,000 on the deal, a leveraged IRR of almost 42%. Amazing project, love to see it. Next, 11948 South Saltair Terrace. This one sold for $4.35 million. Behind a ficus hedge grown taller than the roof line, a Dutch blue garden gate opens to what the listing calls, pretty fairly, a private Shangri-La. The house behind it is a 1948 East Coast traditional in white clapboard and French blue trim, wrapped in storybook English gardens. This is a Brentwood original that has been updated with great taste. I'm surprised this did not sell for more. It came out at $5.15 million, or a little over $1,700 per square foot. I do not think that was crazy, and I'm surprised it didn't trade a little bit higher. The buyers got a good deal. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you or somebody you know is thinking of selling, give us a call, shoot us a text and email. Let us present our approach and share our thoughts on how to best maximize your asset before coming to market. We have an excellent network of professionals to help you prep the house from basic paint, landscaping, decluttering, minor remodel, full remodel, interior designer, and staging, of course. If you're looking to buy, let us connect you with the off-market properties that we have available and that we know are available. Give me a call, 310-943-0909. Thank you.